Forget what you know about traditional battlegrounds. The next great power conflict, it's not being fought in deserts or jungles. It's happening right now, on a rapidly melting sheet of ice at the very top of our world.
So have you ever considered that? A brand new ocean is literally opening up, and with it, a new battleground for global powers. This isn't science fiction, it's happening as we speak, and the analysis we're about to break down, well, it completely shifts the perspective on this high-stakes chess match that's already being played in the extreme cold.
Welcome to Strategic Labs. If you want more tactical insights like this, make sure you like and subscribe.
Okay, so why the sudden obsession with this frozen expanse? Simple, it's not so frozen anymore. As that ice recedes, the Arctic is transforming from a massive, impenetrable barrier into a brand new arena for global competition.
When you boil it all down, the stakes here really fall into three main buckets. It's a battle for wealth, from all those untapped resources. It's a battle for power through control of new sea lanes. And of course, it's a battle for security through critical military positioning.
And to put that resource piece into perspective, just look at this number, 30%. The Arctic is estimated to hold a staggering 30% of the world's undiscovered natural gas. So you can see, this is way more than just a territorial dispute. It's a fight for the future of global energy.
And that brings us to the first major disruption. The real catalyst for this whole thing isn't a treaty or a war, it's climate change. The melting ice isn't just some environmental story. No, it is the single biggest geopolitical event that's redrawing the map of the world right now.
And this timeline just shows you the incredible speed of this transformation. For decades, the Arctic was just a frozen buffer, nothing more. Then, boom, 2007. Russia dramatically plants a flag on the North Pole seabed. It was symbolic, sure, but it was a powerful signal. And now, with the ice melt hitting overdrive, that quiet competition has turned into an all-out race.
Now, let's move to the second disruption, because this is where it gets complicated. With this new arena wide open, we now have three major players on the board. And they have three completely different and frankly totally clashing visions for what the future of the Arctic should look like.
So you've got Russia, who sees the Arctic as its strategic backyard, basically a sovereign bastion. Then you have the US and NATO, who see it as a global commons, an area that belongs to everyone and must be kept open. And then there's China, calling itself a near-Arctic state and demanding access for its so-called Polar Silk Road. The real friction point? It's Russia's claim over the Northern Sea Route, clashing head-on with America's insistence on freedom of navigation. These visions, they're just fundamentally incompatible.
And all of that leads us right to the third and honestly the most critical disruption, the central paradox that defines all the tension in the Arctic right now. It's this high-stakes dilemma that has no easy answer.
See, on one hand, we are witnessing a massive, unprecedented military buildup. The entire region is being armed to the teeth as each power jockeys for control.
I mean, the evidence is everywhere. Russia is reopening its old Cold War bases and building a whole new fleet of nuclear-powered icebreakers. NATO is hitting back with more exercises, more surveillance, and now with Finland and Sweden in the alliance, almost the entire Arctic coastline has become a hardened NATO border.
But, and this is the paradox, at the exact same time as this military race is heating up, the brutal environment and shared threats create this unprecedented need for cooperation. We're talking search and rescue, oil spill cleanups, scientific research, stuff you literally can't do alone up there.
So, here's the crucial point. The main tool they had for that cooperation, the Arctic Council, it's fracturing. Geopolitical tensions have basically frozen its work, creating this super dangerous governance gap, a vacuum of rules, right at the moment when you might need them most for something like a shipping accident. So, where does all this lead? What's the end game on this new chessboard? Well, the analysis lays out a few potential futures. We could see some kind of managed cooperation, or maybe a strategic fragmentation into Russian and NATO zones. Then there's the worst-case scenario, escalatory military conflict. Or maybe economic interests actually win out and force everyone to cooperate. The truth is, the outcome is very much still in play. So if you take one thing away, let it be this. A changing climate has created a new ocean, pulling in competing powers with goals that just don't line up, and creating this paradox of escalating military tension right alongside a desperate need for cooperation. The rules for this new ocean are being written in real time, and the balance between conflict and cooperation, it is hanging by a thread.
Now, this is just a high-level briefing.
For the full deep dive into the military hardware, the legal claims, the economic stakes, check out our full-length explainer on the channel.
See you in the next one.